Welcome guys, hope you all are doing good, and in this video we are gonna see what are the important tools and features available in our Android Studio to make our app development or working in our projects easier. And this video will be compatible for those guys mostly who are already working in any kind of Android projects in Android Studio or gonna start their Android career or Android app development learnings in Android Studio, because this things you need to know basically that while developing any kind of app you will require this kind of features to work with. Okay, so let's see what are these things. Basically, hope you know that, or if you don't know, you may need to implement, or you can say import some kind of libraries inside your project. And you can say, for example, we have our build.gradle file. One is project level Gradle file, another is app level Gradle file, and you can see inside app level Gradle file that we have some pre-installed libraries, or you can say pre-implemented libraries by default from the Android Studio as a blank project. And this libraries also gets outdated with time, and also you need to update them according to your requirements, or you can say to keep the app updated simply. And apart from that, here you also implement, or you can say import more libraries according to your requirements. And for example, you can see here certain libraries. You can say this code KTX 1.90, it says that it is already out of date, and the updated one is 1.12.0. and these things, you can say the whole list of libraries, whichever components and libraries are installed either externally or the default Google API. You can see everything inside the project structure, or you can say the project structures module part. Here we go to the dependencies section, and here you can see that all the by default added libraries that we saw, they are already available over here. But if you import more libraries, you can also see them over here, and you can choose to either upgrade the up-to-date version of any library, or you can say any kind of particular version that you may need according to your requirement, because there are sometimes scenarios where you may require a particular feature which is only available at a particular library version. You need to know, that's a different topic to discuss, but you can see here that we have all the list, and you can simply choose. And if you see it is out of date, you will see this kind of underline, zigzag pattern underline, and while hovering as well, it shows that the updated, or you can say the newer version is this one, and you can choose to update by clicking on it. And here you will have the up-to-date list of versions. Apart from that, you can simply click here update, and it will update it like this, and you just need to click on apply and you're done. So this is something very important to know, because while developing apps, you need to be careful about your libraries that you're working with. So and yeah, one more thing is that you can also import, or you can say add more libraries from here. For example, we can search from here that what are API calling libraries such as retrofit. So here we have retrofit, and let's see if it shows in the list. It took quite a bit of long time, so I have removed the area of timeline where it was taking time to load. Okay, so you can see here that we already have the list of retrofit, and simply you just need to choose one and just press OK, that's all. And you have your library implemented inside your Gradle file and overall project. So I'll just show you for a quick demo. Okay, this is the square up retrofit library that we generally use mostly to make API calls, and I will press just OK. And I think here you can already see that it is already added over here, and either you press apply to apply it instantly, or if you want to directly exit while applying. Both the work will be done, that is pressing OK. It will apply as well, and it will exit the module as well. So here you can see our retrofit 2 library is already inside our Gradle file, and as well as it is implemented over all the project. You can see it's available over here, and we don't need to do much thing, but in case if it is not available in that list, you just need to simply put the URL or particular implementation code inside this dependency tab, or you can say block of this build.gradle app level file. But there are certain scenarios in which you also need to work with project level and app level both, depending on the requirement. Okay, so let's see what are other components. Okay, so this one is kind of an optional thing. You don't need to use it all the time, but one of the most important thing that you may need at certain scenarios, or you can say some problems where you get stuck, this is invalid cache. And in this you just simply check all the boxes and click on invalid and restart. What it does is it will remove all the cache of your particular project, and remove all the libraries as well which are already installed, not actually the implementation URLs or fetching links that is implemented inside the files to fetch the libraries, but actual installation files which comes along with the libraries. Okay, so everything is going to be removed, and it will restart the Android Studio, and it will reinstall everything. It will reindex the whole project, and this will actually, you can say, very helpful when you are having very difficult error, or you can say not exactly difficult, but some errors which you cannot solve it. Even by debugging you cannot find what's the reason is, or you can not compile the code without any reason. You are not able to compile the code. There are very high possibilities that at the level of libraries, or you can say internal components, these issues may happen, or at the level of caches. So this thing particularly solves that issue. And you can also go to the module project structure module tab just by clicking from here. Right click on the app folder, and here you will have the option of open module settings, and you can directly get redirected to the project structure window. And here you have the dependency tab. Just simply check out everything from here as well. It's the same tab that you open from the file, and nothing new. Okay, so the other thing is how you build and run the project. So this is very important thing. Of course, you are building a project or writing codes in the project, and you don't know how to run it or build it, so it's useless. Here in the build tab you have certain options. I will explain you the important one which mostly used. First one is, you can say, the clean project. In this, whatever build you are making along with the caches that are developed while building the project, everything is going to be cleaned using this clean project option. And what rebuild does is, I will teach you about this after explaining about the build option. This make project is actually builds the whole project, not creating a build file that is not the APK file. Actually it creates an APK file, but not in that way as an output. But this is gonna build the whole project. And there is another way, that is rebuild. What rebuild does is, it will clean the whole project, and then it will go to the make project option, that is build project option. Both the things are done just by clicking on rebuild. You mostly use it when you don't want to click on this option and this option simultaneously. So both the tasks are done by this one single click on rebuild project. Okay, and another thing is how you build an APK. So you just go to the build bundles or /APK option. Here you can see build APKs are available. You just click here and it will start building. And as soon as the build finishes, here you will have in the right hand side bottom corner, you will have locate option to locate where the build is created, and you can simply use that build to install or whatever you want to do according to your requirements. Okay, you have seen how to build the project, how to clean the project, how to rebuild, that is clean and build the project. Okay, and apart from that, you have also seen how to make APKs from the project, but you have not seen how to run the project directly into your emulators or connected real devices using USBs. So here we have an option under the run tab, call it run app. This same thing is available here. You just need to click here, it will build the project and it will run as well on the connected device, of course, the one which is gonna be live, or you can say a live device, either emulator or the connected device. And yes, you want to build the project without going there, there's an option here as well. You just need to click on the make project option and it will start building it. If it is not selected by default, you just need to select it and then click on it and it will build always your project. So another thing is your Firebase implementation and other things which you need according to your requirements. I'm not gonna go deep into it. You just go to here and you will see Firebase option, and inside the Firebase option you can choose whatever your requirements: in-app messages, cloud messaging, Firebase ML, Crashlytics, performance monitoring. It all depends on what you want to get connected with. So we are not deep diving inside the Firebase topic because it's totally a different topic. And the another thing we can see is device manager. It's of course one of the important component or part of Android Studio or Android app development. Here you can see all the virtual device that you have created using SDKs and Android OS, but you will also see the physical devices, that is real devices as well, which are going to be connected and online. Here you will have a green dot, or you can say green symbol, to symbolize that the device is actually online or alive. Okay, so we done about device manager and SDK manager. Of course, SDK manager is of course the important part because that's what you work on. And here you have different Android OS versions. You can just select and download the one whichever you are gonna work with, or you can say whichever particular OS you are targeting, you can work on it. By targeting, I mean, for example, there are certain codes that doesn't support below particular Android version. So if you are targeting as low as 5 or 5.1 or 6, in that scenario you can also use this OS and check if the application is running on it or not, or you can say the codes are suitable for this particular versions or not, and check how's the performance working with. These OSs are used to create virtual devices. Okay, and here you have SDK tools. These tools are of course again according to your requirements. Okay, so we are done here. And VCS, version control system, you just enable it from here. That's all. Here you enable it, and then you will have further options such as fetch or all the VCS options. If you have enabled it, you will see more options over here. I'm not doing it because it will make the video longer. As just a quick overview, VCS means version control system, is nothing but a part of Git which helps you integrate Git inside your project, and you can push or pull the projects, updates, everything from Git and to Git repositories. Okay, so we are not deep diving into it. And if we have anything important remaining, let me check it. Yeah, debugging option, of course, this needs a separate video to describe how debugging works inside Android Studio, but this is just an option that I can just show you right now because this is gonna take a longer time if I deep dive into it. And resource manager is also something that you need to be aware about, because here you are gonna see all the components or assets that you have imported, such as icons or any kind of background image, any kind of images or any kind of file. Everything is going to be shown over here. This drawable things or color that you create, or certain layouts, XML files, navigations, animations, everything is going to be available here. Basically all the resources that you are going to use inside your project are going to be shown up here in the list, and you can easily access by searching over here particular name of the file, if you know the names, of course. Even the strings, list of strings that you target on the string file, let me show you where. Inside the rest folder you have values. Inside values you have string file, string.xml. inside here you implement some kind of strings that you use inside your overall project again and again. For example, this is an app name. Of course, there are some places where you want to show app name. You just use this particular keyword, call it app_name, and your app is gonna show that particular app name over there, whatever typing is inside, saying that recycler view demo. Okay, so apart from that, mostly you are not lacking something if you know all of these basic things. These are very, very basic things that you need to be aware about. Yeah, this one shows the list of devices. Okay, and now the newer versions of Android Studio supports wireless pairing with your real devices, so you don't need to all the time stay connected and keep on charging your real device. It's very handy when you are working on projects that you need to test on real devices, and at the same time you don't want to keep on charging. Okay, so okay, I forgot to mention this one, but for example, you have opened a new project and you have made certain changes at a very root level or Gradle level, and the app is by default not syncing with the Gradle file automatically. What you can do is you can click here. This is actually sync project with Gradle option. It actually syncs your Gradle file along with the project, so that the project can work with the Gradle file flawlessly. And you generally don't need to use it until and unless you have not made any kind of changes in Gradle file, or there are certain default changes happen suddenly in the Gradle file. At certain particular scenario, it may not be executed or synced automatically. In that case you need to click here. But most of the cases you will have a highlightation over here saying that you need to sync your Gradle file with the project. For example, I will give you a demo over here. This particular library is not updated. Okay, so we will just update it. Right now it has 1.8.0 version, but I will update it to 1.10.0. okay, now you can see we have a highlightation which says Gradle file have changed since last project sync. A project sync may be necessary for the IDE to work properly. You just click sync here or click here. Both options are same. Okay, let me click here or here. Both are gonna be same. I will just click here to show you that this is gonna work the same. See, Gradle project sync in progress. So there are certain scenarios as well in which you want to try a Gradle sync while working in the project, if that can help you or not. Depends on your requirements. Be flexible while learning Android Studio so that you can understand there are certain new features or options that you may discover while working with Android Studio. So I hope these things or features and tools that I introduced you with, which are very very basic, I have not covered literally everything. This is something very very basic that you just need to be aware about before creating any project inside Android Studio, because of course without these options you are not going to be very very smooth working with Android Studio. So I hope this will be very helpful for you. Thank you guys. See you in the next video.